Okay, today I have a Volkswagen 2011 Jetta TDI. I'm working on it today because even though the car only has 70,000 miles, the clutch has given out on it. So I was riding down the highway and the clutch went to the floor. I was making a lot of banging noises before the clutch went to the floor. So I'm not sure. At the time I wasn't sure what happened, but now that I have it taken down, I've already taken the old flywheel and pressure plate off. These are the parts that, and I'll show that in a minute, actually, the rest of it. But basically I wanted to kind of show you how I was able to get the engine hoisted up. Basically I just went to the Home Depot and bought a 2x4 and got some turnbuckles and basically just hoisted the engine up on its hooks, and that's it. So at this point, engine's up in the air, and what I did initially was I got a jack and a table and I kind of wiggled it out. But I can tell you right now that was a bad idea, because what happens is sometimes when you use the wrong tools, this is what happens. Fortunately my legs weren't underneath it. I got the transmission out, but then I leaned on the table a little bit and it just folded in half. Transmission went rolling down the table to the floor, but it doesn't look like it caused any damage. So I went and spent a little money and bought this transmission jack. So, and I got it off Craigslist for a pretty good deal, so I didn't buy it brand new. A lot more. But here's the transmission. What happened here is part of the clutch came apart. I mean, part of the pressure plate around the fingers of the pressure plate came off. And so if you look in here, you'll see it's like a piece. The banging noise was a piece that came off and started rotating, and it actually put a groove in the transmission. Fortunately, it didn't cause a hole, but it would have, I guess, it would have kept going. And you can see here where this hydraulic throwout bearing, the reason why the clutch went to the floor is because this here got busted up by whatever was spinning right here. It cracked the plastic here and busted it. It should be like this, actually. It should be like that. And it busted that plastic and the oil came out. So fortunately, like I say, I don't think it caused any really bad damage to the transmission. It just made a thing right there, but other than that, the car seems to be okay. I mean, the engine runs just fine. It's just I lost hydraulic pressure from my clutch, and it left all kind of debris down in here. So yeah, like I said, if you're doing something like this, I would be careful and get a transmission jack, because when it rolled down the table, I think it hit me in my lower back, but it didn't really hurt me or anything like that. But it was a bad idea, so still ended up spending the money to get it. But everything here is on like a bearing. I mean, everything spins around, and it's a really nice jack. I like it. It's got 2 adjustments. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Okay, so now at the bench, UPS just delivered my new clutch today, which is this. Basically, from what happened here was on the pressure plate. I don't know what this actually is, but it started coming apart while I was on the highway, and that was what the noise was. It sounded like sand or dirt was banging on the bottom of my vehicle, but actually it was in the bell housing spinning around as it was breaking up. So initially I thought, well, since my clutch is on the floor, it must be that the fingers busted off and the hydraulic throwout bearing was going in and out, but it wasn't that. It's just these pieces came off and busted that hydraulic line. But either way, I mean, it needs replacing. And this is after 70,000 miles. This is what the disc looks like. So here's the old piece, if you can see it. I need to get more light in here. Anyway, so that's the old pressure plate. I have a feeling it was only using part of that pressure plate. I don't think it was using the entire surface. I really didn't like the feeling of the clutch anyway. It was kind of stiff, if you ask me, but maybe that's because it's a diesel, I don't know. But anyway, here's the new one. It just came in today, a few minutes ago. And here it is. I haven't opened it yet, so now I am opening it. Got this from idparts.com. I had to have it overnighted so it would be here for the holidays while I'm not actually having to work. Plus, all the rental cars are sold out, so I kind of need my car now. If my truck breaks down, I'm in trouble. So this is what you would see if you ordered one. Oh, and by the way, this is a... Where's my flywheel? Hold on, let me get my flywheel. Okay, so this is the flywheel. The original flywheel. This is dual mass flywheel, which means basically there's two pieces: the piece that bolts onto the crank and the other piece that the pressure plate and the disc are sitting on. And basically it has, I guess, rubber inside between these two plates, and if you can see, it actually moves. I was moving on the car. It'll twist. It'll move and twist between these two pieces. From what I was hearing on other YouTube videos is that this will give out on you and it can cause damage when it does. So since the car has 70,000 miles on it, I figured it'd be probably a better idea to just go ahead and replace it along with the other parts, because I know that this is the only part that really was giving me problems, but I don't think this was giving me problems. But I just went on ahead and went to ID Parts, bought a new conversion kit that goes from dual mass to single mass. So single mass, this is what it probably looks like. This is my new hydraulic throwout bearing. So, you know, like I say on the old one, that piece, that whatever this is here that broke up, it sliced right through that plastic. Hydraulic fluid came out. So that's the new one. Here is the manual. See, this is that. This is what it looks like. The new pressure plate. I don't know why I just did that. That was weird. Just slid it on the table. That'll be alright. Anyway. Old pressure plate. new pressure plate. Old, new. So, and this is the new disc. Old disc. As you can see, the springs are much more beefier here than they are in this one, and I think that's because of the flywheel doing the majority of, the flywheel doing the majority of the shock absorption and shifting. Let's see if I can get them lined up. Yeah. Best to replace everything at once, so that's that. Here's the new flywheel. Oh yeah, and it comes with a ton of bolts. So those are the bolts for the flywheel. I think it was going to come with new CV bolts. I'm not sure. Here's the key, the alignment tool, which would be very useful. And the flywheel. This is heavy. So this is a little thicker. The old one is a little thicker than the other one. And I don't know how they might have made up for it. I don't know. Big heavy piece of steel. So yeah. So hopefully everything will go together and I'll be back on the road. And I guess I'll clean that up since I just messed it up. Don't want any oil or grease to get on any of these pieces. So I gotta get some brake cleaner. And this. Then what I'm gonna have to do is put everything back together. I mean, I had to take a ton of stuff off the car. So in this situation, I had to remove, of course, the battery, the bottom intercooler hose, transmission mount, air cleaner, of course, air filter. Here's the other intercooler hose I had to remove. Had to remove this transmission mount and the shroud. Took me the good part of a day. I've never done it before, so it took me pretty much all day. And that was including me going out and buying tools and stuff that I might have needed, because I had to actually get a set of what they call triple point, I believe. Let's see here. I had to go out and buy a set of triple square wrenches. I got these from Summit. Fortunately, they're in my area, so I just got these. I don't think they were more than like $5, maybe, or maybe $10. I can't remember. But pretty much almost everything on this car uses those triple squares, including the CV bolts, flywheel. They use those bolts. I mean, these sockets. These are 12. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bolts that use that triple square on this car. So I mean, if you're working on a Volkswagen, I would think the first thing you want to do is just go ahead and buy the triple square bits. I went on ahead and cleaned up around here near this sensor. It was really dirty, so I blew that out with compressed air.